Welcome to the YNTAAY AY Mini, starring me, Chris Smith. Hello, this is Frenemies 2, Chris's Revenge, the sequel to the popular episode Frenemies. Today we have more enemies, friends turned enemies, and just frenemies, including Carla Smokington. Now, Carla was one of my bosses in the past at a company, an entertainment company, and this gunman came and tried to shoot me. That's another story we'll tell in May on the anniversary. But, it was very traumatic. And then a few days later, Carla says to me, "We believe you believe it." And I'm like, "Excuse me?" It was like a punch in the stomach. It was worse than a bullet in the heart. But words do hurt. So, Carla, if you're watching, choose your words better. We've made peace now, but that still stings after all these years because I'm not smart enough to make up some gunman coming at work. I'm sorry. If I was that smart, would have done that a long time ago. Her boss was Joe No Chance.
Is that
Now,
James Lipton?
No. I get along very well with James Lipton. Wonderful man, and he used to write for Another World. But Joe No Chance was Carla's boss, and he used to try and get rid of me. He was going to, he told me that I had to be at work 15 minutes before my employees, and he would send somebody to sit at my desk, and if I was 1 minute late, they would write it down. And, luckily, the gunman came and tried to kill me, so I left that job. Now, this woman wasn't really an enemy or a frenemy, but she was one of the customers at the mailroom. Her name was Brillo Head. Oi, just seeing her makes me cough because she brought a dark cloud with her wherever she went. And she was just a very scary customer. And her hair really did look like a Brillo pad. This episode is sponsored by Brillo pads. But, I wish her luck. Sweet woman, I'm sure. This man was called the Mean Old Evil Queen. Now, if you're a gay viewer and you're watching, that is not a slam. That was really his name, the Mean Old Evil Queen. And he always wore beige pants, but I didn't have a beige marker. Now, this is a feather boa that I tried to draw around his neck. It's hard to draw feathers. One time, after the whole gunman and 9/11 incident, they were having like messengers and dry cleaning, everything brought to the mailroom. And it was delaying delivery of things. And he accosted me in the hall one day and was like, "I was waiting for a messenger package and it took 2 hours to get to me." And I was like, "Oh, well, you're always welcome to come and get it and pick it up yourself." And he just kept going on. And I was trying to deliver things. I had a bunch of boxes stacked up on a dolly. And he's like, "Where are you going?" Because I'm backing up slowly. And I said, I want to move out of the way so that nobody gets hit in case one of these boxes goes flying. And he was so offended that he just stormed off and never spoke to me again, that mean old queen. That's one of the things that I'm most proud of in my whole life that I said. I stand by it. Hateful old thing. He retired though, so. Now these are two cousins. Well, a cousin and then his wife. My mother's upset that I'm including this episode, these two in my list. But it's cousins Gary and Evie Judgington, a very judgmental couple. He's a minister and she's a minister's wife. And like, for example, one time they came to visit and she's like, "You call your mother by her first name?" I'm like, "Excuse me, I've always called my mother Betty, and I called my grandmother Grand Betty when I was a little baby. So mind your own business, Evie." But these two would do sneaky things like they set up their video camera one time at a family reunion in empty rooms and would just let people wander in. They would record their private moments. And would you believe I was on the phone with my then girlfriend, Barbara. Yes, girlfriend. And who knows what I was saying to her. I was probably saying, "I can't wait for those cousins to leave." And they recorded the whole conversation, and then they were doing a screening the night before they were leaving. And we're all gathered in the TV room. They start this thing, and here I come on the screen, and I'm like, turn it off, turn it off. And they're like, oh, this is going to be juicy. Wouldn't turn it off. So I get up to run out, and wouldn't you know, my foot gets caught on the piano, and I go sailing across the room and accidentally punch my Aunt Anne, who I love, in the face, right in the nose. And she's like, oh, I think my GD nose is broken. Only, of course, she said it. I'm sure those two had something to say about that. But, yeah, so I just grabbed my car keys and I ran out of there, and I never saw them again because they left the next morning very early. So anyway, that is Frenemies 2. And since this is the holidays, I'm just trying to cleanse myself of any negativity. Won't you do the same? Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.